Bill told me two things: pay attention and don't take it home. And I'm only capable of one of those things. There's something about old guitars. They get lighter, they get drier, they almost cough. Bill used to say tearing cardboard was the sound of an old guitar.
How do you make a new guitar sound like it's been around that long and has that vintage character that so many people love?
Especially with a vintage instrument, if you find something that really you just can't stop thinking about, that really speaks to you, you know, usually you kind of know, okay, this one's going to stick around.
The goal of the I-35 Vintage was largely just to push the I-35. Where else can it go? What else can it do?
The Collings team pushed the threshold, you know, to see how far you could take it before you know to ring it back.
I think that even if you don't adopt the anomalies or try to recreate them, you got to at least understand, hey, those instruments were inspiring those people to make that music.
At every step of the way, there was a challenge that they had to overcome. And once they overcame that challenge, then it became, well, what's next? We've got more elements of this build that we need to study, and these elements probably have something to do with what makes it sound old or vintage as well. This is why you can't rush, you know, something like this, a brand new model that offers something completely different. It's something that you can't rush through.
We had to rethink everything. How do you pick a piece of wood? How thick do you make it? How tight is the glue joint? And all of that winds up yielding a feel and a sound.
I want something that I'm going to enjoy playing, really. And there's a lot of factors that go into that. The sound, but the appearance and the feel of the instrument.
Responding to physical movement is something that was important on this guitar. We wanted the player to be able to interact with just those little subtle body movements.
The way I connect with an instrument as far as the feel goes is just as important as the sound if I'm going to go out and play one guitar all night, because you want to be comfortable and you want to have something that feels second nature. It's like an extension of your body. I know it's a cliche, but...
We have mass and we have energy. And we want to make that mass move with the energy that we have. So when we select the wood for the I-35 Vintage neck, we're choosing something a little different. We're looking for the grain to be positioned in a slightly different way. To help with its flexibility, we've altered the truss rod curve. We've changed the center block recipe. We've changed the plywood recipe. And that's just getting started.
I would say that guitars for me are works of art first, and tools second.
Collings has brought to the table a soft aging process that allows oxidation of the metal and the checking of the lacquer to be an inviting aspect of the instrument that encourages you to pick it up and play it with the sense that many people have been there before, packing that thing full of good stuff.
It's inviting because it has this look of an older guitar, a worn-in guitar, something that's kind of naturally aged, almost lovingly cared for.
Old guitars feel like old friends. They kind of beg you to keep going, to hang with them, to lean into it. And there's a softness there. There's a way that they respond. So when you bend the string or you really lean into the pick, that the guitar goes with you.
And once you plug in, there's also very unique things about the electronics that you're going to discover. The Collings team went back to the drawing board in terms of the electronics and really explored how we could offer the player even more versatility just from the standpoint of being hands-on with the volume and tone of the guitar and finding how soft you can get it and still be clear and articulate versus, you know, how loud you can be and everywhere in between.
There's a lot you can do with it with a volume knob, tone knob, and a pickup selector switch. It's super versatile.
There's a lot to this guitar that allows us to provide the people that get their hands on it a much more expressive experience than anything we've done before.
You've got some really brilliant people working down there, and they're relentless in the pursuit of, figuring it out.
The I-35 Vintage came out of a process of several years of just observing and paying attention, and then taking it home and thinking about it.